Okay, here's some other art ideas I wanted to show you. So this is an illustration, and it is done with marker and pen and ink. And this is actually the actor Jack Lemmon as a lemon head. So these were just requirements, but they were things that kind of developed over time, starting with thumbnails. And some of my stuff has a lot of comedy gold. This is, I think, my most perfect design gem. I actually made an instructor, well, I didn't make her, but she was very jealous of this. And it was a lot of cutthroat competition because the instructors at that school also did freelance art or other jobs on the side in order to make ends meet. Going through all that, I discovered too that I actually made more money as a waitress. Isn't that funny? There were times when I made more money because of the tips than my husband too. As bus drivers in the United States overall make really good money, especially if they're union jobs. And his job is considered a state job or county job. So here's another one where I play with circles and shapes and make them into little characters and things. I just had to give an example on how it would be for a business card. But that's how I want to play on the computer as well. And then here's another shape that came out of other shapes. Letters and numbers and things. All this stuff, by the way, was pretty much done by hand. Only did a few computer things. My Adobe Photoshop and Aldous Freehand is so old. It's as old as the dinosaurs back in the 90s. And we did things so much differently. We would download things on either floppy disk, or if we had a lot of information, we had to use what was called a XyQuest disk back in the day. I got into photography a little bit, but I don't really like it. I like it a lot better now with these cameras, but I had an old Canon AE1 camera. I actually think I still have it. But this was a fellow student of mine, and she actually wore nothing but underwear and a white sheet so she could look like a Roman statue. And then the detail back here, right in here that you see, that is all hand done with an instrument of an airbrush. I got really skilled with that as well. Here's another one where I play with letters. So you can see that the figure of the child there is playing with the R. And then we had to give it as an example, as in a magazine, how it would look in a layout of a magazine. Here's another example. This is a man I knew who was a customer at my job who ran a sign company. He gave me and another gentleman access to his equipment for no charge, and yes, we used it. I did a scaled down version of an actual sign, scaled down to measurement, and did an example of a small version of how that sign would lay out, how it would fold out for a cafe. And then did an example on how it would be printed out on a t-shirt and a teacup or a coffee cup. Let me set this aside carefully. I don't want to make this video too long, or it not might be able to be sent to you. So maybe I'll do a third one. And then here's another play on shapes. This was all done by hand. And then you do copy paste and everything. The type here I did all by hand with a T-square and triangle at a drafting table. And I used to have the big drafting table and all of that. So, and I mixed it with some marker and some watercolor, but it's mainly another pen and ink. I'm going to show you, I'm going to stop this video and I'm going to show you another one. So give me a minute here.